Hey, oh, Bill's here. Right on time. Oh, I'm here. Hi, me. Close that a little bit. Well, welcome. Hey, everybody. What do you guys think of today's title? Karina, welcome. Appreciate you being here again. Thanks for coming back. You're going to love what I got today. If you like the thing from last week, you're going to love this one. This is going to be fun for you. Thank you for the restreams, and the faves. Hey, did my title catch your attention? That's what I'm trying to figure out as we get into this. This is episode 59 of the Nooner. I'm about to hit 60 of these things. This is pretty cool. So Karina, and I know I tweeted out to you earlier in the week, but hey, if you want to get caught up, if you want to see some of the previous episodes that I've done, hop on over to YouTube. There's a youtube.com/Cardone Solutions. There's a playlist on that site called The Nooner, where every one of these is going to be up there. So for those of you just tuning in, those of you just joining us, it looks like we got some more people popping in. This is episode 59 of The Nooner. What is The Nooner? It's where I'm coming in every weekday, Monday through Friday, Pacific Standard Time, 12 o'clock noon, and I'm going to be dropping a little noontime nugget about either sales or business or life. Today's going to be all about a life lesson that I promise you'll be able to incorporate into the business. So thank you again for being here. My name is David Bradley. Who am I? Well, number one, I'm the host of The Nooner. Number two, sales and marketing manager with Grant Cardone. Been working for Grant for the last 5 years. Number two, sales and marketing manager with Grant Cardone. Been working for Grant for the last 5 years. It'll be 5 years in March, actually. What we do with Grant Cardone Training Technologies, we go into companies and work with them directly to increase production, usually to the tune of 15 to 30%, simply by helping them find and then handle missed opportunities. So if you take a hard target look at your business, where are you guys at right now? What is the potential? Where's the opportunity? We'll go in there and help you pull another 15 to 30% out of it, okay? 75% of what we do in our company is 100% free. So if I can help you in any way, feel free to reach out to me. David at Grant Cardone is the email address. My direct number, 310-777-0352. So the purpose for me to come in here every single day at 12 o'clock noon Pacific Standard Time, you've had lunch for your body. I want to give you some kind of a motivational tip that you can take with you into the rest of your day and hopefully add some fuel to your fire. You got to add wood, right? A fire, what happens to a fire if you don't keep adding wood? Burns out, right? Motivation is the exact same thing. You got a fire in your belly, you got to keep it fueled. Make sense? So that's what we're here to do every single day. 12 o'clock noon Pacific Standard Time, 3 o'clock on the East Coast. This is going to help you push through to wrap up your day. Two other things about me. I'm the author of a book called How to Stop Smoking Without Killing Anyone. I smoked cigarettes for 3 times 5, which is 15. 15 good long years. That was quick. 15 good long years of smoking the cigarettes, and I could not quit. I enjoyed smoking the whole time. But as I got to that 15th year, I'm like, hey, man, I got to get out of this deal. So I started looking at, hey, what can I do to stop? Because I can't quit. So I found a way to stop and not quit. Granted, I haven't had a cigarette since May of 2002. So how did I do it? Well, I wrote a book about it. And if you got a habit you need to kick, or if you got to kick the habit, smoking that is, check out a copy of that book. It'll get you there, promise you. StopDon'tQuit.com is the website. The other thing about me is I'm the founder of a hashtag called Rich Man's Gym. This is all about home-based strength and conditioning for body, mind, and spirit. There's more to working out than just looking good naked. It's about developing your brain, and it's about developing your heart. Not just the cardiovascular part, but I mean like the heart, the thing that keeps you going, that keeps you pushing through, that keeps you showing up, getting out of bed. Karina says she can't wait, and she's been doing that slowly. Good for you. Keep it up. Thank you. Appreciate that. So I got this like little floor mat, and when I put my wheels on it, like in bed, so if I try and move, it just pulls me back into the groove that it was already in. So I'm trying to make a new groove. That's what that is. I don't have any weird itching or anything like that. I'm just trying to get better position. Good having fun though. Maybe we should get the music back on. All right, so today, what are we going to talk about? In my title, I said Elsa from Frozen, my mom, lessons from the other side. So I got some notes. The first thing I want to do is I want to lay down a definition. And I do this a lot on the Nooner. This is something that I learned from Grant and a man named Bob Duggan about, man, hey, know what you're talking about. And what I mean by that is, man, we use words every day, but do we really know what we're saying? Do we know what these words mean that are coming out of our mouth, right? So sometimes even the most simplest of words, we don't always have an understanding of, okay? So on one of my Nooners, I talked about the word confidence, and when you break that down, it means con is with, and then trust. Fide is a Latin base for trust, and then con is with, right? So like confidence means with trust. And it was one of these things. I was like, wow, when you finally learn that stuff, it blows you away. And I mean, how long do you use the word confidence? And maybe you just didn't know that. So what I want to look at today, here's a word I want to talk about, is the definition of communication. What is communication? It's important that we understand that as I go into this. Joe Hart, nice to see you, buddy. So it's important to understand what communication is before I dig a little deeper into my mom and lessons from the other side. Okay, so communication defined is the imparting or exchanging of information or news. Second definition that you can see here is means of connection between people or places in particular. Okay. So nowhere in that definition does it require a heartbeat. Okay. Hey, Laura, thank you for being here. So just want to be very clear on that, what communication is. Now, my mother, she passed away in June of 1998. Interesting thing happened is that as she was getting closer to that day, she had cancer of the everything, is what I call it, because it spread. And as she reached her day, where she transitioned from this world to the next, she asked my father for something. A couple of days before that happened, he's out in the garden doing some stuff, trying to clear his head, and he finds this beautiful feather. He says, just for whatever reason, he's like, I might need that later. So he just sets it aside. A couple days later, my mom, literally on her deathbed, says, hey, Vern, can you get me a feather? He says, well, hey, I just happen to have one. So we took the feather and we hung it from above her bed so she could see it. And it was there, and it stayed with her the whole time until she passed away, which was a few days later. So after that, we started seeing feathers in some pretty weird places that you probably shouldn't find a feather. I found a feather once inside a vending machine while I was going through a really rough time. And so to me, the ultimate meaning of the feather is, hey, pay attention to this. Are you looking right now? That's kind of like her way of being like, hey, dude, wake up, pay attention to this, notice this. Okay, what I do with it is up to me. How I respond to that, it's on me. Okay, but as I said, communication, the imparting or exchanging of information or news, means of connection between people or places in particular. So I believe deep down that this is one of these ways that people that have gone beyond are still communicating with us and letting us know, number one, they're tuned in, and number two, there's more to it than what's physically present. Does that make sense? Right? This. There's more to it than this. Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter, says Yoda. Okay? So think about that for a second. So there are ways that people that have gone beyond and that are existing on another plane keep us in check and help us and give us guidance and wisdom. Okay? So from my mother, one of the ways she does that is through these really well-placed feathers. So, and like I said, the ultimate meaning on that is pay attention. Okay? So, skip forward to yesterday. I'm on Facebook. And my cousin, Toby, who had a unique relationship, still does, with my mother, had posted this little quote. And the quote, this is perfect square. It fits great in Instagram, and it will be on Instagram later today. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's just at David R. Bradley. Same thing on the Twitter. And I'm going to post this later on today so everybody can see it and enjoy it. But there's a quote, and in the little perfect box is this feather at the top corner. So it's like, pay attention. What is this? So we're going to be. I'm going to deliver the quote to you because I figured two things. Number one, the quote is obviously for me, is a message for me to some degree, but anytime I see stuff like that, and I know that there's a message, and I know that I'm communicating on a very large scale with a large amount of people, such as Meerkat, and then I'll eventually on YouTube, I'm like, hey, this can't just be for me, right? So I'm going to pass that on to you. So when I deliver this quote to you, not only is this for you, but I want you to share it as well, because I believe that there's somebody in your circle who needs this to hear this today. Okay? So I know there's somebody in my circle, so it was for me. There's somebody in my circle that needs to hear this today, and there's somebody in your circle that needs to hear this today. So share this quote somehow, some way. If you tag me on Twitter, great. If you don't worry about it. If you rip it off my Instagram, great. If not, don't worry about it. But share this. Okay? I don't care how you share it. Just share it, because somebody in your circle needs to hear it. And you know what? I may never find out who I helped today. You may never find out who you helped today. But I promise you, when you share this piece of data, you've helped somebody. Okay? So here it is. One of the hardest lessons in life is letting go. Whether it's guilt, anger, love, loss, or betrayal. Change is never easy. We fight to hold on, and we fight to let go. You want to do it again? Let's do it again. One of the hardest lessons in life is letting go. Whether it's guilt, anger, love, loss, or betrayal, change is never easy. We fight to hold on. We fight to let go. All right, so let's break this down, shall we? Let's break it down. Break it down. One of the hardest lessons in life is letting go. Okay, so this is why I threw Elsa, right? Because anytime you hear "Let It Go," I don't know about you, but I start singing the song. Do you? But what's happening for her in that movie? Who has not seen Frozen? Has everybody seen Frozen? Right? Okay. What's happening for her in that movie? What is that song about? Okay, so one of the hardest lessons in life is letting go. So, and then it goes on to say in that quote, whether it's guilt, anger, love, loss, or betrayal. So it's like, hey, what are you holding on to right now that you might want to start thinking about letting go? David Dorian Ross, man, you showed up right on time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the restream. So I'm going to read the quote one more time, just from my buddy David. Okay? One of the hardest lessons in life is letting go. Whether it's guilt, anger, love, loss, or betrayal, change is never easy. We fight to hold on, and we fight to let go. Okay? So what I'm challenging the kids at home, David, is what are you holding on to? Okay? One of the hardest lessons in life is letting go, whether it's guilt, anger, love, loss, or betrayal. What are you holding on to? Good to see you, David. If you can't stick around, that's fine. But hey, hit this one up on YouTube because I'd love your feedback on it. YouTube.com/Cardone Solutions. Playlist called The Nooner. Check it out. Would love your feedback on it. This is right up your alley if you can't stick around. Thank you for being here, though. What are you holding on to that you need to let go of? Okay, so let's just expand beyond the guilt and the anger, the love, the loss, and the betrayal. Bill says it's a great quote. It is a great quote, isn't it? What other habits are you holding on to that you need to let go of? Okay, so I talked about smoking, right? That's a no-brainer. But what else? You know? What you holding on to that you need to let go of? This is a habit. This is a mindset. Okay, maybe you've got a mindset that you've been holding on to for a long time that you know is not helping, that you know is holding you back. Okay, these are actions that you could be taking that you may need to not take anymore. Or they're actions that you're not taking, and for whatever reason, there's something that you're holding on to that once you let go, you can take the action. Change is never easy. Look, nothing in life worth having, doing, or owning should be easy. When it's easy, you don't respect it. Period. Simple and easy are two very different things. Right? Goes on to say, we fight to hold on and we fight to let go. So this last part can be a bit confusing. Bill made a comment here, so I just want to dig into this. Napoleon Hill says the same sentiment in his best-selling book. Yeah, Think and Grow Rich, right? Yeah, totally. So I don't even know who said the quote. It might be his. You know, I should probably figure out who said this so I can give credit where credit is due, because it isn't mine. I don't remember my mother ever saying it in my years, but all I got was that and a feather. So I got to figure out who said that. Maybe you're Googling it right now, Bill. And if you find out before I do, let me know. Thank you. So, but the last part, right? We fight to hold on and we fight to let go. This can get a little confusing, or it may, challenge the brain a little bit. So think about some things that you have in your life right now that are worth holding on to. Like my wife, worth holding on to. Our cat, who is eating over here and may come over and meow to announce that she just finished eating, which she likes to do. So we may get a cat cameo. We love this cat. That cat's worth holding on to, right? Where I live is worth holding on to. Okay? But there are some things in your life that are holding on to you. Okay? And that's why I decided this quote isn't just for me, but it's for everybody. Because there's things in my life that are holding on to me that I need to let it go of. And there's probably things in your life that you're holding on to that you as well need to. Hopefully you just started singing. Okay? But you got to let it go. And it's holding on to you at this point. And I'm going to tell you that holding on is now mutual. You need it or you believe you do. You believe you need it as much as it has convinced you that you need it. So, some things you may even believe are necessary, even when they're not. I just wanted to read that because these are my notes, so I make sure that I'm touching on the right things for you guys. But some things you may believe are necessary, even when they're not. Right? You ever been in a dysfunctional relationship with somebody and you're like, man, I don't know how I can live without you. And then you break up, and within 9 months you're like, man, I'm so glad you're like, man, I can live without him. Right? You know what I'm saying? And that's not just boyfriend, girlfriend. I mean, that's any dysfunctional relationship that you have, right? I was in one. Very, very good friend of mine. But the reality was, my lack was his success. And so I needed to get away. So, where do you find yourself fighting to let go? Think about it. I'm just going to use an analogy. If I reach out and I touch something that's hot, shit, hot. Okay, what do? Immediately, boom. Why? It's hot. There's some kind of, thing happens on my finger that lets me know that that's hot, and then if I continue to leave it there, it gets burned. And I get injured. It's a fight or flight mechanism, right? So, when you know you're getting burned and it hurts, you let it go. But where are you getting burned right now in your life and you're still holding on to it for some hope that at some point maybe it's going to stop burning? No, it's burning. Let it go, let it go, right? Let it go. You know it's burning, right? You know it is, but yet you don't let go. Why not? Because somewhere up here you've decided that it's important, that this is the only way you're going to get a need met. Well, I'm here to tell you the message today is that it's okay to let go. Okay? There's two things you need to do this. You need self-determinism, and you got to execute response ability. That's the ability to respond. You break that word down, responsibility, okay? You need to execute that. Self-determinism, meaning you choose your response, which you have the ability to do. You can let go before you get burned too bad. So, what are you holding on to that you need to let go of? What's burning you? Okay. So that's the nooner. That's wisdom from beyond, thanks to my mama. Ilsa's in the background. Look at her. She's like, yes, let it go. Okay. So this has been episode 59. Tomorrow we're doing episode 60 of the Nooner. I'm so glad you guys stuck around the whole show. Thank you for being here. Reruns, as always, replays, rebroadcasts are popping up on youtube.com/Cardone Solutions. D Skills 635. Hey, thank you for being here, man. Are you by any chance related to D's Nuts? Sorry, couldn't help it. It's right there. How do you not take advantage of that? Appreciate you being here, man. If you want, I'm going to follow you right now. If you want to catch up on previous broadcasts of the Nooner, I've got them all up on the YouTube. Thank you for the like and the restream. Appreciate you being here. Have a great, tomorrow. 3 tips. 3 to create a positive customer experience on the Nooner. I'm your host. I'm David Bradley. That's right. 40% off at the GC store. Yeah, I'm talking about that tomorrow as well. Thank you very much, Bill. Appreciate your contributions as always. Have a great rest of the day. This has been episode 59 of the Nooner. I'm your host, David Bradley. See you soon.